from the Coliseum. The A's will try to bounce back after a tough loss last night, and they'll send veteran left-hander Brett Anderson to the mound. It is game 2 of the 3-game series. It's the Oakland A's and the Kansas City Royals coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Brett Anderson with a career-high 12 wins this year. He has stayed healthy. He has not missed a start this year, Ray, and he's been everything the A's had hoped for and more when they signed him.
And the one thing he did against the Houston Astros, he kept the ball down. That's the key for Brett Anderson. He's a great ground ball pitcher. Against the Astros, he had a lot of movement on his pitches right there. Pitch away. Check this one out. Just keeps going down. If he pitches down in the zone, he can get strikeouts. He can get ground ball outs. That is the most important thing for Brett Anderson. He went 5 innings. Luzardo pitched 3. Liam Hendricks got the save. But for Brett Anderson, keeping the ball down, because for a while he was elevating all of his pitches, and that's not good for a ground ball pitcher.
Well, if the A's make it to the postseason, it's going to be very interesting to see how the bullpen lines up. For more on that, let's head downstairs to Dallas Braden.
Well, that's what September provides, guys, is an opportunity right now for some arms down there in that bullpen to sort of reveal themselves, maybe in a fashion that we haven't quite seen with some consistency. You remember last year what this bullpen meant. It was a pillar of absolute success for this club. Moving on into the postseason race right now, you're going to need to start figuring out guys that can hold the rope, if you will, kind of hold water. Remember, this is a group who has some individuals find themselves in some different roles right now. Liam Hendricks, who has slid nicely into that closer's job. So it's really about nailing it down here come crunch time towards the end of the season.
All right, thanks, Dallas. The A's had their 6-game winning streak snapped last night. They'll try to start a new streak tonight, and they will take on the young right-hander Jorge Lopez for the Kansas City Royals. We'll have lineups at first pitch. When we come back, it's the A's and the Royals, game 2 of the series. Is open, 7 degrees, and it's breezy. Wind gusts of 20 miles an hour. Game 2 of the series between the A's and the Kansas City Royals. Here's the Royals starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It starts with the Major League's hit leader, Whit Merrifield, and then Mondesi, Soler, 45 home runs, Dozier, Gordon, McBroom, he's in right field, Cuthbert is the first baseman, Bubba Starling is in center. Nick Dini is the catcher.
And as we mentioned in our open about Brett Anderson keeping the ball down, he last faced the Royals in 2017, so he is seeing them. And if he keeps the ball down, ground balls, that should be him, because a lot of double figures in ground balls for him throughout the season. Let's hope that continues tonight. Keep the ball down, take your chances.
So Whit Merrifield steps in, and Anderson kicks and deals. The first pitch of the game is up and away.
Well, remember, guys, we talked about it last night, the top of this lineup here. Some bat-to-ball skills, some guys that can be pests.
Merrifield is one of those guys. Looks like the A's are going to get him this time, though, as Cannon grabs it. He's not waiting around. So 1 away here in the opening inning. That'll bring up Adalberto Mondesi. A's defense tonight, Seth Brown is in left. Mark Canna in center, and Robbie Grossman is in right. Chapman, Simeon, Profar, and Olsen around the infield, with Josh Fegley catching. So here is Mondesi. Big night last night for the young shortstop. Ryan Addington is calling balls and strikes. DJ Rayburn is at first. Crew chief Greg Gibson at second. CB Bucknor is down at third.
Fegley's been the catcher most of the time for Brett Anderson throughout this season. Murphy did catch him in his last start. See the skipper in the dugout.
How about that number? 10. That's the magic number for the A's to clinch a playoff spot. So write that down.
Down.
10. That's the key. It can only go down. It cannot go up.
But that's the number of Marcus Simeon. He's had a great year, so maybe we'll go down to somebody else's number after tonight.
Center field and a base hit for Mondesi. That is his 4th hit in this series.
Well, he saw off the left side last night, hit the ball down the left field line for a double. Tonight takes a curveball. See, that's a curveball that you'd like to see to the back foot, thrown harder and not leave it towards the middle of the plate. It is hit usually very hard, like that one was.
Pitchcast is brought to you by Subway. So danger at the plate, danger on the bases. Soler with 45 home runs. Mondesi with 39 stolen bases. Although the A's threw out Mondesi last night.
Well, that responsibility right now is going to rely on the man on the mound, Brett Anderson, the lefty. You've got that runner in your face, and Brett does a great job of what we call as left-handed pitchers hanging around. Meaning you'll see that leg lift just kind of hanging. He's going to read to try to get a feel for what it is that Mondesi's going to do. Take you back to last night. Some loud noise off the bat of Soler. And he reminded everybody in his dugout just how strong he is. That's big boy territory out there. But again, mistakes up, especially this year, the way the ball is playing, they don't come back very often.
1-1 to Soler.
There you go. You get a shot of the read from Brett Anderson.
Most 440-plus foot home runs this season. Soler has 10. Big Pete Alonso's got 10.
That number 10.
Hit hard towards second. Profar has it. Simeon on the first, and that is a 4-6-3 double play. So that's Brett Anderson's specialty. No score after half an inning. Grossman.
Jorge Lopez on the mound for the Kansas City Royals. He was pitching in that game in which the A's scored a whole bunch of runs, like 19. But he is making the start, his 16th of the season. As Lopez with a record of 4-7. The A's need to bounce back after last night. And double play by Brett Anderson's a good start to this game for the Athletics.
So Marcus Simeon steps in against Jorge Lopez. Fastball 95 miles an hour for a strike.
2-4 seam fastball for the right-hander. He's got all the complementary pitches to go with it, in addition to a two-seamer.
Hey, it's Marcus Simeon's birthday today.
Yes, it is.
29 years old.
So 29 home runs as a leadoff hitter. That's that guy what's that guy, Ricky? 24.
Shallow center. Starling in and over. He's got it. Royals defensively have Gordon, Starling, and McBroom in the outfield. Dozier, Mondesi, Merrifield, Cuthbert on the infield. McBeanie is the catcher. So here's Matt Chapman. Chapman at 249, 34 home runs, and 85 RBIs. Hitless last night. Shallow right center. It's going to be a long run for McBroom. He has it.
Well, I want to show you guys something. We talk about Brett Anderson and how he's going to read and the speed in this lineup here. Brett hanging around and sort of reading Mondesi is going to keep Mondesi at first base. You'll see here, that doesn't allow him to get a big secondary, which keeps him closer to the bag. You can see him even leaning back, and that's going to make this 4-6-3 right here roll up about as easy as it can get. And that's taking pressure off your middle infielder. That's taking pressure off a lot of folks by controlling and essentially eliminating the running game over at first base. Wonderful job by Brett Anderson.
He's ready to go.
For him, there would be no breaks. Postseason breaks for him are horrible. He'd go up and have a sandwich while he's waiting for them to come back.
To Matt Olson, and now 1-2. 34 home runs, 85 RBIs for Olson. We go with his .272 batting average. A couple of hits last night, both doubles and a couple of RBIs. Since had a very good month of September. A's have played 15 games in September. Olsen has 7 homers and 17 RBIs.
Coming up big in big spots.
Yeah. The A's 11-4 in the month of September.
One of the great things about what Matt Olson is doing is using the whole field. They're shifting him on the right side for ground balls, but his ability to hit the ball in the opposite field, the outfield playing him straight up.
For that one, popped into foul territory. The shift is on, so that's Mondesi who heads over into foul territory, and he makes the catch. No score after 1 from the Coliseum.
Yeah, Dick Callahan said, "Where's your green?" Dick Callahan, his sweatshirt on, his sweater on with the Irish.
Dick's style master.
He is. Looks good. He immediately said it's Irish Heritage Night. There's the man. Look at him. He's got his green on. His style.
Oh, man.
Good play early.
Even styled it up. Check him out at the end of the play, folks. Just kind of little backhand, snow cone. Watch here. Yeah, that's right.
Oh. 1-2 the count to Hunter Dozier. Dozier, 26 home runs and 82 runs batted in. Dozier also has 27 doubles and 9 triples.
Yeah, 9 triples. You think about the big K, the kind of real estate they've got to run around out there. Dozier is not a small fella. So for him to be able to take advantage of those gaps out there tells you what kind of an athlete he is.
Chops one toward Marcus Semien. Dozier is retired.
Should have seen the K on artificial surface. Talk about some triples. Wow. If you didn't cut the ball off down in the left or right field corner, it'd roll forever on the artificial warning track, as well as the field.
Well, those Royals teams that you played against were all pretty good.
They were good, and they tailored their park around that, just like Whitey Herzog did with the Cardinals and the Royals, the same way, artificial surface, and they could run and run and run.
Want to know to Alex Gordon? 2-0 to Gordon. Gordon 1 for 3 last night.
That was a big one, as you will see right here against Jake Diekman. A couple of runners on second and third with 2 outs, and there's your breaking ball. And Gordon, as we mentioned last night, is not afraid of lefties. He's in the lineup every game, lefty or righty, and last night came through.
Sitting in a hitter's count here against Anderson, 3-1. And now 3-2. 13 home runs and 71 RBIs for Gordon. So Gordon, after a couple of real tough seasons, he has put together a good year.
Shaking his head with the fastball. Will he get another one? I mean, that's where really you pay attention to the swing. And while Alex Gordon is a good hitter, swinging through fastball, shaking his head, he could have been deking him or just saying, I can't believe I'm missing it.
Big bounce to Olsen. So that's 2 outs. So the ground ball working for Brett Anderson. That's always a good sign early.
4 ground ball outs. A double play last inning, 2 on the ground this inning.
Right fielder.
And the thing is, and we'll see, and just watching him, elevate some of the pitches, and even the one to Mondesi hit, the breaking ball, was up a little bit, hit it center field. But when he's down in the zone and hitters hit on top of the ball, he's going to get a lot of ground ball outs, and that's a great way to keep the ball in the park.
Here's McBroom. Good curveball on the first strike. That's what we're talking about with Brett Anderson. Ground ball percentage. He's the leader in the American League.
What I think it's fair to note that in this day and age, when we hear so much about guys trying to lift the baseball, trying to create a different attack angle, you can still make money by keeping balls on the ground. And as you said, Foss, keeping guys in the park. How do you do that? Ground ball rates. How do you maintain a certain level of efficiency out there within your body of work? Being able to roll up 2 outs with 1 pitch. Those happen via the ground ball. So Brett Anderson, a guy who's always been a great reader of swings, understanding why he's getting the outs he's getting.
On Anderson, the most he has struck out in a start this year is 5. And he's done that twice.
That's right.
So he's not worried about punching people out.
Well, he understands the value of hanging around deeper into a ball game and what that can do for a club.
Gets one there. He'll take it. So that's his first strikeout. Bottom of the second coming up. It'll be Canna, Brown. Day game tomorrow. Off Dangers come to town for the final 3 home games of the regular season. Final road trip, 2 in Anaheim, 4 in Seattle next week. So the A's with a couple of off days left this year. When we get through tomorrow, Ray, the A's will have played 16 consecutive days. So
That's it.
you ready for an off day? Mark Canna, 24 home runs, 55 RBIs.
Yeah, I think players look at off days a little bit differently in today's game. And, why not? It may enable a player to play longer or more with the off day because they factor that in as well as an off day. So, Marcus Semien, I don't think he wants anything off as he continues to play.
Canna here. Aggressive. Fastball up. Just tardy.
Now it's 3-1.
When I think as players really start to pay attention to how their bodies perform over the course of a full season, what these off days also allow these guys to do is figure out exactly how to rest their bodies. Again, refining a routine to get you through the whole season.
There's a base hit from Canna. Good start for the A's here in the second inning.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do as approach. Work to count 3-1, takes a curveball, 2-1, gets the fastball down, and instead of being too big with his swing, takes the base hit in the hole and gets the A's started with something here in the second inning. I think, again, going back to watching the players as we get to on a daily basis, they're kind of unselfish and they almost take what is given to them. And sometimes a lot of singles put together is going to score a lot of runs.
Brown rolls it to the right side. Merrifield out at second, on to first. Not in time. So fielder's choice.
Well, look where he's playing.
And look who takes the pivot.
Yeah.
That's Dozier. So they leave Mondesi at his normal spot, the shortstop spot, which is probably a good idea, but it then forces the third baseman to be the pivot.
Yeah. Well, Bat Chapman doesn't have a problem. And of course, usually if you're playing third base, you have a strong arm. And I think Dozier just showed that strong arm going 90 feet versus across the diamond.
So Brown, the base runner. Chris Davis now 22 homers and 71 RBIs. Clutch hit last night.
Well, just kind of touching on your point, boss, about guys not trying to get too big in certain situations. Gets a little slider down, does KD, right back up through the box. And as we talk about guys kind of picking things up in big moments, though you haven't seen the power flash, Chris Davis continuing to put together good at-bats, maybe not the results that I think everyone's used to, but those come.
Last 9 games, Chris Davis, 11 hits and 34 at-bats. That's a .324 average and 11 RBIs.
But I think that's a good indication of a guy who understands, you know what, at maybe some point in time I start to cut things down and just play the game.
Inside, 1-2 the count.
There's no doubt what a hot Chris Davis means to this line. There's no doubt what a hot KD means to the opponent. That's bad news.
I think we all realize KD's had 3 outstanding seasons with the Athletics, and going back to Milwaukee, really looking at 4. But you have 3, you're going to be put on notice in scouting reports, and maybe you're not going to get the pitches that you got before, and that's the adjustment you're talking about. To take what is given. Well, in Arlington, Texas, this is what KD did, left center. Of course, he loves Globe Life Park. He's going to love Globe Life Field. It doesn't matter. It's Texas. One in Houston, a couple of that game in Arlington.
See KD with 2 strikes, a little wider base. Those are things you'll see guys do. We've talked about KD and the hand movement, the hand placement. It's all about making those little adjustments that can eventually lead you back into that click mode where you're unconscious and just rolling the pole with authority.
Quick and a miss. He struck him out. So that's the first strikeout for Jorge Lopez.
Well, Lopez has the ability to compete within the strike zone. He's got the stuff. That's just the situation here. 95, come get it. Able to win the battle.
So 2 away. Brown, the runner at first, and here's Jurickson Profile. Profar 1 for 4 last night. It was a triple. He could have been 2 for 4 with a home run. Yeah, Alex Gordon took a home run away from him early in the game last night.
I think we saw a double for the Royals and a triple for the A's. Gifts. Because probably should have been a single and a double. But, yeah, Gordon did it. He knows how to play the outfield. Play he made in Kansas City. He made a play in left field in foul territory and threw home like he was thrown from third base to first base, and as a result got the runner to plate. But took some of his third base ability into the outfield.
Profar, mighty swing. So watch, this ball would have been out of the ballpark, we believe.
Just look at Profar's reaction. He knew he hit it well enough, but Gordon right there, when he put his hand up over, what's right there? The ball didn't pop out because he closed his outfielder's glove. So when he hit the wall with his wrist, it didn't pop out. That's why he's won 6 Gold Gloves. He knows how to play.
Can throw. Too, if you see an outfielder have just enough time to put his hand on the wall, I think that helps him a lot. They know exactly where they're at.
Well, and it prevents them from getting close enough to the wall where we'll see guys try to elevate, and they'll elevate at an angle into the wall, taking away their ability to get above the top of the fence.
3-1 now to Jurickson. last night. Scored 5 runs on 10 hits. 5 of those 10 were extra bases. 2 doubles, a triple, and a homer. Three and two now.
The profile looked like he said, I'm going to get a fastball, and he loaded up, and the ball is a pretty good pitch running in on him from the right-hander. Well, I think in certain situations, you might as well say he's going to throw me a fastball, be ready to hit it, and get out in front and be able to pull it the shortest distance instead of trying to go opposite field. Sure, it's cheating. It's looking fastball, but 3-1, you have the ability to do that and the luxury of cheating on a particular pitch.
Runner goes, the ball's hit hard toward first. Cuthbert is right there. Steps on the bag, and that will do it. Hit and a runner left. Third inning coming is beyond Wi-Fi. X5. No score, third inning. Be Cuthbert, Starling, and then the catcher, Dini. Line drive, base hit right field. Leadoff man aboard.
Just an elevated fastball and a little bit late on the swing, and Cuthbert able to go to the opposite field. A little bit of a pitch in his swing right there. Kind of takes his bat towards the pitcher, so he's got to be a little tardy coming through the strike zone. But it worked out well with a shot to right field. They call it wrapping the bat. You wrap the bat, it's tough to get it back through unless you're extremely strong, which these guys are.
Well, an early contact is something that Brett Anderson is familiar with, and whether or not that hitter is back in the dugout or on first base, 3 or 4 pitches or less.
Marcus has it. Out at second. Profire's throw to first. Not in time. Sounded like Starling hit that ball right off the end of the bat.
Yes, it did.
Well, he sure did. This was the point I was making, is he'll get you out of there 3 pitches or less, one way or another. You're right, just off the cup. Big fella unable to stretch out quite far enough. Hustling Bubba Starling going to beat out the throw. But a good job again by Brett Anderson. Fill that strike zone up early and often. Let the defense work behind you. I mean, you've got gold glove caliber defenders all around you. Why not put them to use?
Here's Dini, the catcher, and he goes after the first pitch and hits one well to center. Canna's going back. Canna, a couple feet onto the warning track. Starling tags. Starling trying for second, and he's in there. So with that being the second out, pretty good move by Starling. Give it a shot.
Well, once he saw the ball was going to stay in the park, he goes halfway, and then you can see him really running right there. He starts to come back once he sees Canna under it. And he knows Canna's going to have to make a strong throw, which he does a little bit offline, but Starling also has pretty good speed. That ball is on the bag, Zane's back. And then immediately, no hesitation, went straight for the bag. Pop-up slide. So a throw on the bag by Canna. Might have been a little bit closer. A good hustle by Starling to take advantage of a ball that he knew was going to stay in the park.
So runner in scoring position for a tough out, Whit Merrifield. Let's look at the Jurickson Profar turn. We've talked a lot about it.
That front foot popped up awfully quickly.
It did.
You know.
Used the bag to protect himself a little bit anyway.
Well, I still think if he could learn to come across the bag and throw across his body, he could protect himself even more. He gets hit a lot, and a lot of times he will not complete the double play because he does stand on the bag, allowing the runner just to really run in straight at it. If he has a pop-up, it really kind of gets the point where you take away the shot at first base, so you might as well cut him in half.
Merrifield takes a close pitch. Hey, the Indians won 7-2 over the Tigers. So we're watching that one. And the Rays just went up on the Dodgers 1-0 in the second inning. So the Indians beat the Tigers, the first of that 3-game series in Cleveland. Again, the final score is 7-2. So that tightens everything up a little bit more. A's with a 1-game lead for the #1 wild card. Rays second, and the Indians now 1 game back of the Rays for that second wild card.
Well, the number to look at is the loss column. The A's with 61, Indians 63. And of course, that's Indians total, but not the Athletics. But just like the magic number goes down, the losses, you want them to stay there, or I mean, they're not going to go down. It's going to stay, and you hope it stays where it is. In the case of the Athletics, at 61.
And unfortunately for the Tribe, speaking of losses, Jason Kipnis gone with a hamate injury.
So he's out. Ramirez still out with the same injury. I guess they may get Jose Ramirez back.
Terry Francona talking about Corey Kluber. I thought he said, I don't want to go by the trainer's room. I don't want him to think that we want him to hurry up and come back. And they may be looking at him for next year, according to a recent article, recent comments by Tito Francona. That's a big loss.
Field rolls at foul. So the Indians 88-63 with that win. 2 more games in that series at home. And then over the weekend, they will host the Phillies. A good Phillies team, although the Phillies looks like they're not going to make the postseason. So that's a disappointment in Philadelphia. But still a formidable lineup that the Indians will have to face over the weekend. Field pops it up to shallow right. Profar is there, and he's got it. So runner stranded. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd. No score between the A's and the Royals. Comes a new comedy, Seaside, premiering Thursday, September 26th on NBC. It's good eats going on in that
You think?
luxury suite. Slow down, guys.
Yeah.
Watch the game.
Be careful, don't spill it.
You know, if that was inside the clubhouse, they would be called crushing the spread.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I think. Yeah.
Spread crusher.
But I will say, it's a big spread to crush now, because it's not just your normal hot dogs and hamburgers. I mean, they're crushing big time.
So when you crush the spread, and the spread being the spread of food.
Yeah.
In your day, Ray, it wasn't a big deal. Now, you can put on 6-7 pounds.
In a month?
In a
I was
homestead.
thinking about a cereal.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Dallas, were you a spread crusher?
I was absolutely a post-game spread crusher, no doubt about it. Pre-game, not so much. I had other things going on, workouts and stuff. You've got places to be. But after a game, you bet your bottom dollar. Yeah, you get my way, you could be pulling back a bloody stump.
Well, now it's pre-game, and then pre-game, and then post-game.
Grabbed by Lopez. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So a nice gesture by the Athletics. The Athletics pregame ceremony, they honored the grounds crew.
Yeah, 5. Clay Wood, second from the left. Head groundskeeper, and, you know, very much deserved. I'm glad they really got the attention that they do deserve, because the job they did, especially no sleep.
Well, they look better today. They look like they got a little sleep last night.
Yeah, I don't think folks truly understand or appreciate the manpower that goes into turning a football facility, or of sorts, back into the beautiful diamond that we get to play on, especially with Mother Nature rearing her head. She had other plans with the rain.
Yeah, the rain didn't help the situation at all.
You saw the ground crew, that's 5. When we head back east or Midwest, I love to mention Clay, because there's at least 30 that are out there holding the hose and breaking around. Clay has 5 that do all the work. And a great job. This field actually, compared to last night, looks pristine. That's what Pink will do. They did a good job.
Well, and you want to get a feel for what kind of group this is, talking about from in the clubhouse, down here on the field, field staff in general. Phil Pohl, bullpen catcher, yesterday, nail drag in hand and was dragging the warning track.
I saw that.
Yeah.
The great Phil Pohl. All right, with 2 outs, it's time for T-Mobile's connection to the game. Major League history. How about this? Players in a season with the following: at least 116 runs, 173 hits, 38 doubles, 7 triples, 30 homers, 85 RBIs, 78 walks, 10 stolen bases. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Marcus Semien. Babe did it twice. Lou Gehrig did it twice. Marcus has done it once. So, Marcus, you are on a list with Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig.
Yeah.
The Herm and the Iron Horse.
That's it.
Let's go.
I mean, really, what more? What more do you need?
Contract.
Of course, we could tell Marcus, say, hey, Marcus, they did.
What's up, everybody? If you like this video of the Oakland versus the Kansas City Royals, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys later.